Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, wa alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. So we move deeper into this fasting month. In a sense, every day brings us a slightly different experience, as if the colour or the hue of the month changes as we move through the extraordinary spectrum of the experiences and the ahwal, the spiritual states, which it offers us. We know, and we find this particularly in the teachings of our Imam al-Ghazali in his beautiful book on Siyam, the courtesies of fasting, in his Ihya Ulumuddin, that the fast has different degrees. And there is the fast of the ordinary people, the awam, the ordinary believers, those who keep simply to the outward forms, those who do indeed stop eating, drinking, and so forth, as the muezzin sounds, and those who resume those things as the muezzin sounds again, and inshallah are patient during the day. And this should never be underestimated, because nothing that is an act of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is small in His sight, particularly in this age of institutionalized greed and disobedience, when celebrating the list of deadly sins has become the basis of modern life, entertainment, coolness. We need to respect everybody who is struggling to deal with this very significant austerity, which is the month of Ramadan. But clearly this is just the beginning. This is just the container, the rules, the ahkam, the fiqh. Then the question arises as to what we put in that container. It's like the clasp of a ring. It's necessary. It's made of gold, it's beautiful in itself, but what is the jewel that is going to be held by that clasp? Is it going to be just a piece of mud, or will it be a sparkling diamond? What are we going to put in our Ramadan? Now we know that the hadith says, إِذَا دَخَلَ شَهْرُ رَمَضَانَ فُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُ الْجَنَّةِ وغلقت أبواب النار وصفدت الشياطين ونادى مناد يا باغي الخير هلم ويا باغي الشر اقصر. When the month of Ramadan comes in, the gates of heaven are opened, the gates of hell are closed, and the devils are chained up. And a herald angel calls out and says, O you who seek good, rise up, and you who seek evil, restrain yourselves. Ramadan is a time of facilitation. It's easier to do the good things that somehow we never quite got around to doing at other times of the year. It gives us more time for everything, because there's less time spent on grazing, on messing around, on snacks, or cups of coffee, and the other distractions which so often break up the seriousness of our time with usually pointless, unnecessary moments of refreshment. Instead, it's a time of seriousness. And we need to hear this angel that's calling out, saying, you who are looking for good, rise up. Are we prepared to rise up? What do we do in this month that makes it a real Ramadan? A Ramadan not just of the body, but a Ramadan of the mind and the heart as well. We know that the month teaches us taqwa. We know that the month teaches us sabr. In the hadith, we learn as-siyamu nisfu sabr. Fasting is half of sabr, of patient restraint. And when we think about it, one of the lessons that Ramadan teaches us, and we can't avoid learning the lesson, is that the spiritual efforts that we always told ourselves we were too lazy to undertake at the rest of the year, actually we do have the capacity in Allah's grace to do those things. It requires a certain effort, an effort of will, not to indulge in these bodily dunya things for 12 hours, 14 hours every day, not even to drink. And of course in South Africa things are quite warm at the moment, given the sunny climate. It requires an effort. So Ramadan teaches us that we can actually say no to hawa, to passion, to whim, to the nafs ammara bisu. We can say no to it. That's what the angel is telling us. Learn this lesson. Stand up and don't just adhere to the rules, and inshallah be kind and faithful and a servant to your family and to others, but learn this key lesson that actually you should not despair about your spiritual effort. You can make an effort, you can avoid vice, you can stand up for virtue, you can read more Qur'an, you can do more dhikr, you can serve people more, you can avoid even the most basic pleasures for an extended period. So inshallah, this is great good news. Bushra lana, good news for us in this month of Ramadan, that the path of spiritual overcoming of the lower self is actually possible, that we can do it. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as the month progresses and deepens and changes in color and brings us, inshallah, so Allah brings us safe and sound and healthy inwardly and outwardly to the joy of the Eid, that lesson of Ramadan will continue after the Eid, so that we become people who have learnt the lesson that yes indeed, with the right niyyah and the right effort, we have it within ourselves by Allah's grace to overcome the nafs and to rise up towards the realm of the angels, inshallah. May Allah make this a blessed Ramadan for us, for our families, for the people of Cape Town, for the people of Cambridge, for the whole ummah, inshallah, and make us once again an ummah that through these beautiful ibadat are shuhada'a ala nas, witnesses for mankind. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Barakallahu fikum wal afu minkum wa taqabbal Allahu siyamakum wa salamu alaykum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.